Enough ambushes to tide you over until September 20th.
This isn't Area 51, folks. This is NXT.
Support, no DQ.
Welcome everybody to What's NXT for July 17th, 2019. I am your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stefan Osborne, joined as always by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good morning, wrestling fans.
And this morning, we were treated to a 4-match show, and you know I love that.
Yes.
And the show kicks off with probably my favorite, I hate to say it, this is probably my favorite part of the whole show, is the intro package with the music, the Slipknot song, and they used to have this very choreographed bunch of superstars.
Very corny.
Yeah, all mouthing the lyrics to the song at the very beginning of it, and then it starts doing the clips from the matches and the whatnots. They have gotten rid of that synchronized spot.
Yes.
And it is now just clips of the wrestlers, man.
That's fine by us. It flows a lot better, I think, and like I said, it feels a lot less corny, feels a lot less forced down our throats.
It just doesn't start the show with a bunch of heels and a bunch of baby faces intertwined, all singing the same song together.
This isn't We Are the World, you know. This is NXT.
So yeah. Considering what it was and what it is now, this is probably my favorite part of the show. The first part of the actual show is a match. We have Matt Riddle come out, and he is dressed to compete, and sure enough, the bell rings, and this is going to be a match. And we don't know who. And turns out, we've seen this guy before, but he's got a new name. I don't even remember what his old name was. I didn't look it up. But Arturo Uas. And it's spelled R-U-A-S.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm not an S.
This is...
Jerry, are you a S? I guess the R is silent, and they keep calling him Uwas. And cool, okay. He is a Muay Thai / what's the...
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Capoeira.
The Capoeira.
Yeah, Capoeira.
The sexy dance fighting.
They're using dance fighting moves.
Fans.
Yes.
So, this was, for lack of a better phrase, an MMA fight.
Yeah, there's a lot of feeling out, a lot of attempted submission holds, a lot of strikes. Didn't even have a wrestling feel to it whatsoever.
Not really. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were allowed to have the fucking MMA match and just hit each other and try and put on moves and shit. But obviously, Matt Riddle was going to get the win, and he does with an upper knee,
that knee strike of his, yeah.
It's like an uppercut, but with his knee.
Pretty much. A high knee.
And then he just gets on top of this guy and does the ground and pound to where Uwas was not able to protect himself, and the ref had to call for the TKO.
But best way to describe it, if you haven't watched it, is pretty much Ralphie beating the hell out of Scott Vargas in A Christmas Story. And
now, this match was not noteworthy for what it was, because we all knew that this guy with the new name was not going to win this match.
No.
It was kind of cool to see the way that they did it. You don't usually see a TKO.
No.
Where the ref is just like, well, the guy can't defend himself. He's basically knocked out, and call for the match. In this case, the chick does it, Jessica.
Yep.
So what was notable about this match was after the match, when Riddle is celebrating in the ring, and a hooded masked man comes in and attacks him.
Yep.
And we don't know who it is. At first I'm like, that kind of reminds me of NXT UK when Imperium...
Alexander Wolf just showed up.
So, yeah, he takes off the hood and mask, and at first I thought he was Cassius Ohno for some reason. But then it's like, oh yeah.
It's like, haven't I already beat you 3 times?
Well, we get Killian Dane just basically destroying Matt Riddle with those senton splashes to Matt Riddle's back when he's on all fours. And he just keeps beating him in the ring, then around the ring, and then up the ramp. And he puts him on the stage and does another senton, this time just into Matt Riddle's chest, and drives him through the stage into what Jerry said was Aleister Black's hole. The black hole, the A-hole.
The A-hole. Right in the A-hole.
Right through the stage into the A-hole.
Looked painful as hell.
Yeah. And
put him through the A-hole.
That's pretty much where they left the match.
Yep.
Or, well, I guess the after match. Plug for the channel. So after this, we get Street Talk with the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, and they're talking about they're the holders of the belts, and apparently O'Reilly and Fish of the Undisputed Era have a problem with that, and they're like...
This is that Street Profits really don't get to see a lot, because usually they're all over the place, they're joking, they're laughing and whatnot. This is a very subdued Street Profits compared to what we're used to.
Yeah,
a lot of Angelo Dawkins saying it's like, okay, we know you guys are wanting to come at us. We're fighting champions. We'll do this. But at the same time, like, we're not going to be laying down for you guys. We're going to be putting up a fight. We're going to keep these belts. And that's undisputed. And that's when you get a little bit of the joking, because Montez Ford just sitting there like, oh.
Yeah, he's got the perpetual O face, and then Dawkins looks at him and then looks back at the screen, and he kind of joins him. But anyway, that's what that was. It's just basically answering the challenge of O'Reilly and Fish coming out onto the stage and clapping at the end of the match last week.
I think that's going to be another match for TakeOver.
I hope so. I hope so, because we're going to be there.
Yes.
That's nodq.com/Toronto for meetup details. I guess it's going to be like 11 a.m. on Sunday. It's going to be lunch somewhere.
Yeah, we're going to have lunch somewhere.
Find out where on nodq.com. After this, we get a video, like a rewind. Like, this was last Saturday. It was, I don't know why, who was filming this and why. Anyway.
They don't take days off, seemingly.
I guess. They can film it, but they can't break it up.
Nope.
So we see Mia Yim beating up what I can only determine is Marina Shafir in the parking lot, in her car. Drags her out of her car.
Slams the car door right on her.
Yeah. Drags her out of the car, seats her, and then slams the door on her. And whoa, that was Mia Yim.
I'm thinking, isn't Mia supposed to... Yeah, Mia's supposed to be the face of this whole thing, and... It's kind of a heel thing to do. Granted, Shayna Baszler's got the numbers advantage in this whole thing.
Yeah, that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah, so taking out Marina Shafir, that's a smart move, because I actually see her being more of the better of the two out of her and Duke at this point.
I look to see Jessamine Duke get attacked by Mia Yim at like the gym or some shit next week. That's what we're gonna see.
At a salad bar or something.
Oh man, so that's what that was.
Hanging out the Sizzler, all of a sudden, boom, there's me. Yeah.
So up next we get my second favorite part of the night, and that is Dexter Lumis's entrance.
Dexter Lumis is awesome.
And now I know why they named him Dexter, because he looks like a serial killer. He's got these black gloves with the holes in the knuckles, kind of like biker gloves, but still black gloves like Dexter Morgan.
Yeah, and he's just slithering. He's not even walking.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything. And he just like these crazy eyes at the camera.
Yeah. And
in the ring with his music, doing the slither and like just looking at the camera like...
Just has his hand slide across the ropes. But...
Nice.
If you guys don't remember him or haven't seen him before, look back in Impact Wrestling. He had this great angle where he actually more or less stalked Christy Hemme, and that was a great angle. Plus, he's just a psychopath. He's a great psychopath. He's going to be a great addition to the NXT roster if used properly. So
he is facing Bronson Reed, who looks like a small version of the Funkasaurus.
Yes.
And he is from Australia, and he plans to show Dexter Lumis his Australian strong style.
which looks a lot like Japanese strong style, just done by an Australian.
Not to be confused with Kiwi strong style, done only by Travis Banks, I think.
With very little effect.
So, I enjoyed this match for what it was, except for the ending. Because I feel like Dexter Lumis is the character that should have moved on here, because it kind of seemed like Bronson Reed was a little bit green.
I agree with you there, but also the fact that I don't think Bronson Reed should be over here. I think he should be in NXT UK. I think he'd actually be a better fit over there. They need more people over there, and especially if, like, I want to see him team up with Mastiff. You don't want to see him team up with Mastiff, but that's okay.
I want to see Mastiff team up with anybody.
Yeah, I was about to say, if Mastiff gets moved up to main event status, they're gonna kind of need that big man for the mid card role, and he would just kind of like slide his way into that.
All right, well let's save the NXT UK talk for tomorrow on the NXT party. Make a note of it or something. Let's get back to regular NXT, because this was a good match for what it was, like I said.
Yeah.
But Dexter Lumis does this front flip over the top rope, a something con hero, and lands on his feet, a little bit on his hands, but more or less when Bronson Reed dodges it, he lands fine, but then catches a running cross body for his effort, and levels him.
I like how he looked at his hands afterwards, though. Like, he basically, I don't know if he was just checking his hands, or if he felt like he damaged him or whatnot, but he just kind of looked at him and then went right back to the assault.
Well, he looked pretty cool in this match, and he had more agility than I thought he would.
Mm-hmm.
But my next note about Lumis is nothing about any of that. It's just a regular old neck wrench. However, he licks Bronson Reed's face and smiles.
Yeah, unless you're Rick James in the mid-'80s, it's not really cool to go around and lick people's faces. Especially in a wrestling ring. That, or if you're a bushwhacker. I guess it was cool for the bushwhackers to do, too.
And basically the end of this match is when Lumis goes up top, and he goes for a really good senton bomb. It wasn't a swanton, definitely. There was no roll through.
No,
he's going to land on his back.
This actually looked, good.
I don't know about good, but it looked more devastating at least.
It looked more like a swanton bomb.
It was only devastating to the mat because Bronson Reed rolls out of the way, and then he ends up picking up Lumis for a back body slam.
Yes.
Like he's going to do a back body drop, but then slams him forward. And then a top rope splash. A top rope splash by this big motherfucker.
Like 330 pounds of Australia just came right down on Dexter Lumis.
That's strong stuff. And yeah, he gets the 1, 2, 3. I knew that was coming.
He could have counted to 10 at that point. Dexter Lumis was not gonna move.
Well, I knew he was gonna hit it too, because Lumis was left at an awkward angle. And he had to, grunt, pain, roll, and get himself into a position where this could land safely. Man.
So now
I would rather just see Bronson Reed take the half a second to grab Lumis's legs and pull him to where he's at an angle to the corner. He can be hit.
So now in the semifinals for this tournament that's going on right now, because it's all part of the breakout tournament. We have Bronson Reed versus Cameron Grimes coming up. And then we also have Angel Garza versus Jordan Miles. So both going to be very solid matches, I think.
I hope.
I would think so, especially Garza versus
Garza versus, let's back it up here.
Well, Jordan
Miles, yes. So after this, we get a interview backstage after a photo shoot with Tyler Breeze, who doesn't seem to take anything seriously.
No, not at all.
He gets approached by the Forgotten Sons. Yeah, I always forget their names.
Yep.
Something in it. Something in their names makes me forget.
Automatically, Tyler Breeze recognizes one of them.
Yeah.
But he asked if the other one's Buddy Murphy, and he's referring to Jackson Riker. Because, I remember Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy were tag champs with Alexa Bliss managing him at one point in NXT.
So, it was either Cutler or Blake. I can't tell. They didn't have the proper tights on.
Cutler is doing all the talking.
He tells Tyler Breeze that he's never seen anybody like Jackson Riker. And Tyler Breeze responds with, "I've seen everything." And he turns around and he walks through some curtain.
Yep. He tried to be all dramatic. He wanted to come off all dramatic and mysterious about it. But
I'm wondering if he's just going for photo shoot number 2.
Yeah. That or just to tinkle himself. For Jesus Christ.
I guess that's why all those photo shoots seem to run over and like the interviewers have to wait on them, is because Tyler Breeze is in there taking all the time with the photographer.
Yeah.
After that, we get a video recap of Io Shirai from last week when she came out to the new music with the new look and said 2 sentences. I don't need friends, and I don't need you.
Yep.
Basically, the NXT universe.
Yep.
And I dig it.
Yeah.
Io Shirai is a heel. I'm all on board. Our third match of the night is going to be Kushida versus Apollo Crews.
You forgot to mention something.
Oh.
Io Shirai is going to be in action this next week.
Yep.
It's Casey Catanzaro.
I've got the note. I just skipped right over it.
Yeah. So that's going to be an interesting match, I think. But I think it's going to boil down.
I don't think it's going to be an interesting match at all.
I think it's going to boil down to Shirai just beating holy hell out of Casey, and possibly like
I don't think it's going to be very long.
I think Candice LeRae is going to come out and
stop the beat. There seems to be sort of a friendship between. Somehow I remembered maybe they were a tag team. At one point, but I think Casey Catanzaro might get like 1 or 2 reversals that are going to be really cool. But other than that, it's going to be Io Shirai.
They win against
for 4 minutes.
They win against Bourne and Aaliyah because LeRae had to find a partner.
There you go, folks. I have a better memory than I thought.
Yep.
So as I said, we have a match up next. Kushida versus Apollo Crews, who is coming to NXT from SmackDown. Coming back to NXT.
Yeah.
And he was met with probably, as Jerry told me while we watched it, the biggest cheer that he's gotten in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And this match was way more entertaining than every other Kushida match that I have seen thus far.
We were ready just to close up our notebooks. I was going to finish off my tater rounds, and he was going to just, sit
there and watch Kushida do a sort of Shade-style wrestling match.
Yeah.
And that was not what this was.
We got a lot. We got something kind of special out of these too, I think.
Well, it was what I was hoping we were going to get out of Crews, but we ended up getting it out of Kushida too.
Yeah.
Because of Crews. Mm-hmm. And this match was way less of the stuff that takes up a lot of time in the ring, on the ground, and it's really cool when they trade and reverse everything, and then end up just sitting up at the same time looking at each other. And then the crowd cheers, yay! And that just took 4.5 minutes of the match.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here like, I've seen all of this before, some form or fashion or another. And Kushida has not been any different since we've seen him at the beginning.
Nope.
This was Apollo Crews putting a lot of fast-paced, high-flying, and power moves.
High impact too, yeah.
And Kushida having to either reverse them or take them, but also deliver a lot of high-impact moves himself, because that's how he's going to get Apollo Crews. His first high-impact move to Crews' arm was where it all began. Crews went to leap up after being, thrown or pushed into the corner, and Kushida came in underneath him and kicked him in the arm.
Yeah.
So that takes away half of his base on the ropes, and he goes down. But that starts it. Yep. And then the rest of the match was the tale of Kushida slowly working on Apollo Crews' arm, to where at one point Crews goes for a gorilla press and can't hold it.
Yep.
And that was, I think, at that point, the beginning of the end for Crews.
because there's like this whole spot on top rope with the. We didn't know what was going to happen, but sure enough, we see the flipping armbar, which I haven't seen since No Mercy 64. So, like, Kushida pulls off the flipping armbar, and Apollo almost kind of works his way out of it, only to get like reversed right into the.
Yeah, he was this close to the ropes.
Yeah, but he gets pulled away. Actually, he doesn't even pull away. He actually lifts him off the ground, but then Kushida rolls back through into the hoverboard lock.
Which they're kind of trying to get away from saying.
Yeah.
I think Nigel might have slipped up there at the beginning and said hoverboard, but he quickly went back to the Sakuraba.
Yeah. They're trying to use more of their international influences. And
It's essentially a Kimura lock while he's sitting on you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. But, yeah, I guess hoverboard maybe infringes on the properties of the movie of Back to the Future.
Somewhere Robert Zemeckis is pissed.
I think cosplay probably is covered under some form of freedom of speech, but as far as using the term surfboard lock,
yeah,
they might want to steer clear of that.
The hoverboard lock.
Yeah. I keep calling it the surfboard.
But that's also the
things.
fact that I brought up the fact that I think the hoverboard lock should actually be something involving a surfboard.
Anyway, I've got more notes on this match than that, though. Cruz had a pop-up gutbuster that looked really cool.
Yep.
And then he hits these hat-trick Germans, the last of which he flips over, and then hits a standing shooting star press.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was impressive about this was the instant replay where they slowed it down. And you could see that when he jumps for the backflip, he doesn't actually go forward.
No.
Like most people propel themselves off the top rope forward for a shooting star press. No, he just does a backflip straight up and down and then extends his chest so far that he lands it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
It was very crisp and very beautiful.
That's crazy. It was very crazy.
Yeah.
After that, that's when he goes up top and Kushida follows and then he knocks him down. But then Kushida runs into the corner and does that handstand on the bottom rope and does like a double heel kick to the top of Apollo Cruz's head. Then he follows him up top, and instead of a superplex, he does that super armbar flip into the armbar, and then eventually into the sitting Kimura lock. That's what I'm going to call it, the sitting Kimura lock. And Apollo Cruz taps out.
Big show of respect between both of them at the end of the match, and
I'd rather it be at the end than at the beginning.
Yep.
So
and
credit to them for that.
Crowd was completely elated. Crowd was all hyped up. Apollo Cruz, great job. Kushida, you all right.
This might have been match of the night.
Yeah.
Now we're supposed to get 4 matches, but fuck. Okay, before we get to the main event and we explain what happens there when Adam Cole defends the NXT Championship, we get a very important interview. We've got Keith Lee and whoever the fuck the new interviewer is now that Kathy Kelly's gone. Maybe this was. No, that wasn't Kathy. Anyway, so Keith Lee is talking about his tenure in NXT and how completely underwhelming it's been for him because he hasn't been getting opportunities.
Opportunities going to be laid at your feet. It's like, well, there's a breakout tournament, and the person who wins it gets the title shot, and I'm not in that.
He has yet to get a title shot outside of a multi-man, I think, ladder match wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
Might have been a multi-man match for the North American Championship. Anyway, he hasn't gotten a title, nor a one-on-one title shot. And next week, he is getting Damian Priest, and he works out verbally in his interview that he's got to show the crowd why they should be behind him and not Damian Priest, and he's going to do that next week.
Looks like we're going to get a heel Keith Lee finally.
Yeah, for the most part of this interview, he seemed like he was turning heel, like he was getting those heel thoughts.
Yep. It's like pretty much he might as well have just been screaming, "What about me?"
Yeah, where's my opportunity?
Yeah.
So, our main event of the night.
Stop getting injured.
is Adam Cole, who comes out and they introduce him not like a match.
Yeah.
They introduce him like he's coming out for a promo. And he comes out, gets a mic. First of all, coming out with that belt, he way overshot the mark. And he's standing
there awkwardly
on the apron, waiting for the spot where he goes, boom. Just waiting. And waiting.
He's like, he's coming.
I think he started singing his lyrics.
Yep.
And then, boom. And then from there it was fine. But still, I thought that was very cute. He decides to introduce his opponent via video. And this was a video that goes back a few months where Johnny Gargano took the NXT Championship back home to Cleveland, went to that wrestling school, and let some of the wrestlers, or at least one in the school, hold the championship. Yeah. And this guy's name apparently was Twan Tucker.
Yep.
So maybe short, as you said, for Antoine.
Yeah.
But Twan Tucker. And he actually comes out.
Yep.
With a mic. And Cole tries to assuage him, if you will, that this was just going to be one-on-one, so come down to the ring and take your shot, buddy.
So I just see I'm all alone out here.
And Tucker wants to make sure that's true, and he asks him, and not because he wants to go down and fight him, but because Twan didn't come alone.
Yeah.
And this leads to Johnny Gargano's music.
Yep.
And Johnny Gargano comes out, and he runs to the ring.
Another ambush. Seriously.
And he chases Adam Cole, and he beats the hell out of Adam Cole all the way up into the crowd and all the way back down, all the way to the ramp in the stage, and then right next to the stage, and then the fucking refs finally come out and try and separate them, and they get Johnny Gargano held back, and he's like, fine, I'm gonna leave, and he goes up the ramp just to come running and diving off the stage back into Adam Cole, and then takes him back down to the fucking ring. And then now the refs can't get a hold of him. Now they can't control him. He makes it all the way to the ring, chases him in. Adam Cole thinks he's got him down, and he goes for the last shot, but then Johnny Gargano super kicks him, and then sets up in the corner for one half of the meet in the middle, and he super kicks him while Adam Cole's on his knees, and then puts him in the Gargano escape.
Yep.
And then now the refs swarm, and they try to take Johnny Gargano off of Adam Cole, and I counted a full 20 seconds of 4 referees pulling on Johnny Gargano that they can't get him off of Adam Cole, who's tapping furiously, begging for Johnny Gargano to let go.
You've got Beth Phoenix and Nigel McGuinness screaming, let him go. I'm like, which one's the heel at this point?
Yeah, I know I just kind of took the wheel and described that whole thing, but I kind of got on a roll, and that's what happened. And like, it was fine for what it was, but my complaint, of course I'm going to have a complaint, I was expecting a match.
Yeah.
I was like, who's it going to be? Like, and you called it was going to be some jobber that he was just going to pick. Mm-hmm. And in this case, not even a jobber. We didn't even get a guy that would come and get in the ring and get super kicked 3 or 4 times. We didn't get a
bell. This wasn't even a match. This was a segment.
Yeah, I was expecting a match. But whatevs. They didn't even treat it like they've been announcing it for a week.
Yeah.
Like, he comes out to the ring and announces that he's going to put the title on the line like it's news to everybody. And it might have been news to the crowd, but they told us last week this was going to happen. That it was going to be a title match.
Yeah.
And I've been expecting a fucking match, man. So that's going to take some fucking stars off.
Yeah.
But that brings us to the end of the main event. You have any other thoughts about it?
Not really, except for my rating on it.
Yeah. So, around these parts on What's NXT, we like to rate the main event using the General's 5-star rating system. And in this case, the main event is the final segment. It wasn't a match. Should have been a match. I was expecting a match, but fuck it, whatever. What do you rate the main event, Jerry?
It's hard to rate a main event when there wasn't really a main event. This was a segment, and this all it's doing is setting up for Gargano Cole 3. That's pretty much it.
Which looks like it's going to be Falls Count Anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I would assume at this point.
And we've got riser seat, like the first riser seats.
Yeah.
And they could make it their way to...
We could be on the television!
I was just thinking, like, they could be, like, fighting, like, right next to us.
Yeah. And I'll probably miss it somehow.
Maybe
but otherwise, you kind of saw what was coming a mile away. The second you saw Twan Tucker come down, and... like, you just knew Gargano was going to be there in some way, shape,
I didn't. I was surprised by that. I was honestly hoping Twan Tucker was going to go down to the ring, the bell was going to ring, and they were going to have a match where he gets super kicked once, gets a last shot to the back of the head, and then 1, 2, 3. That's what I was expecting.
Even then, I think Gargano would have come out afterwards, but we didn't even get that.
Yeah.
So, I have no choice in there, dude. I'm going to give it a 2.
Like, it makes me hate Twan Tucker. What motherfucker gets, even if there's a 99 to 1% or 99 to 1 chance that you're gonna lose,
yeah,
you still go to the ring and let the bell ring and try.
Because that was NXT Championship match.
Maybe the ref gets distracted for half a second and you low blow the guy.
Yeah.
And somehow get a fruit roll up victory. You would be the NXT champion.
I was about to say one of those, Santino Marella moments where he beat Umaga in Italy because Bobby Lashley came out and helped him.
Well, we know that's never going to happen.
I know, but
he would want to go. He should want to go to the ring and try.
Yeah.
That just devalues. Like, who would just let Johnny Gargano just go out there and beat him up and take my match away from me? Whatever.
Otherwise, there's really nothing to this segment. It didn't really do much for me. Doesn't get me hyped for Gargano versus Cole 3 yet. I'm gonna say a 2.
I'm not hyped for Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, but I'm not more hyped.
Yeah.
So I'm hyped for it enough because that's probably going to be the main event at NXT TakeOver Toronto, and we're going to be there live. So
yeah.
I'm hyped enough for that, but this doesn't help.
No.
In any way, shape, or form. I'm going to give it a 2.5 because it was fine for what it was. It was middle of the road, and there was, I'm going to give it 2.75, 2 3/4, because I was a little bit surprised that Johnny Gargano came out when he did.
Yeah.
That was a little bit surprising to me because you said it wasn't to you that you knew it. I was like, I didn't know that was going to happen. I figured he'd come out like during the match or after the match or some shit, but not just take away this guy's match.
I was about to say, there was no match. That was the thing for me. It's like, if there was a match and there were bits of vicious assault on Twan Tucker in some way, shape, or form that provoked Gargano,
I'll
be a little more invested.
You convinced me. I'm back to 2.5.
Yeah.
So 2.5 stars. So that brings us to the end of this episode of What's NXT. Thank you for joining us. Please join us tomorrow for the NXT party. That's where we will be reviewing NXT UK episode 52.
Yeah.
52. So come have a spot of NXT with us. We know we're going to have Chris Mace.
Yep.
We might have Colin Andrew as well.
Yeah.
It will be Chris Mace's birthday.
Kinda. His birthday's Saturday, but we're going to celebrate tomorrow.
Yes, we're going to celebrate. And so please join us for that. And if you'd like to be a guest on the NXT party, come help us review a future episode of NXT UK. Have a spot of NXT with us. You can find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. Or if you just want to find me on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find the gentleman on Twitter
at NoDQ Journal, and also my Facebook group Armbar, all capital, ARMBAR.
Exclamation point.
Memes, discussions, soup, lots of neat stuff. Come and join us.
Join us, won't you? You can also find me on Instagram at osborne.stefan if you'd like to follow me there. And if you want me to follow you back on Twitter or Instagram, just message me and I will do so. I don't mind. And if you don't have Twitter, if you don't have Facebook, and you don't have smoke to signal us with, you can leave a comment down below.
I can't stress that enough, man. We get like maybe 29, 30 likes on these shows. but nobody's saying anything else about him.
Except Israel Diaz. Shout
Israel
out to Israel Diaz.
The dude is
We love you, bro.
constantly saying nice stuff to us.
Yeah, we love you, man. Just the fact that, I mean, he's probably running out of nice things to say, but just the fact that he tries to comment every now and then, that's awesome.
It's like if you're already clicking like, that means you're logged in. Throw some kind words, throw some criticism, put a recipe for potato salad down there,
or give us your email and we will email you and you can be on the show.
Let us know how we're doing. We'll buy you an edible arrangement or some shit. Who knows?
He might. I'm not gonna know.
No, I wouldn't either. But it sounded nice, right? We're nice guys.
No, but we will follow you back if you message us on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Follow you back, I promise.
Support! No DQ!
If you like our video, click the like button that's underneath me. If you like all of our videos, please click the subscribe button that's over there underneath Jerry.
Somewhere in this general area.
And if you'd like to get these videos early and in HD, you can do so on Aftermatch Wrestling. That is our channel on YouTube. That's all one word, AFTERMATCH, Aftermatch Wrestling. And we are on our way to 100 subscribers. We are at 90. We were at 91. Somebody unsubscribed, and that's cool. If we're clogging up your news feed and you don't like us, that's cool, man.
It's whatever.
I like having 90 subscribers and 50 views on videos. That means like somewhere around 60% of our subscribers actually watch our shit.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's a good feeling. Once we hit 100, we'll be going on NoDQ.com and doing our show live.
Yep, this show right here, What's NXT, live on Thursday morning, somewhere around 6 or 7 o'clock. It's Eastern time. You can join us.
Brush your teeth, eat some French toast, listen to us talk about NXT.
Yep.
Chime in, type out the keyboard.
Yeah,
whatever.
You can ask us questions, because the goal is for you to give us something to talk about at the end of the show when we answer your questions.
Yep.
So, that's where I put Jerry to work as the secretary. And he gets on that YouTube on his phone. And that's all the plugs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So for the General Jerry Slaughter, I am the Wizard of No DQ, Stefan Osborne. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you in NXT time.